Good morning, everyone. We are so excited for today. Welcome to the annual Echo Autism Symposium. We are super excited to learn with you today. And hopefully, no matter what perspective you're coming to this symposium with, whether it's a professional, whether it's a parent, a caregiver, or an autistic person yourself, we are delighted to have you. And we hope that you are ready and excited to roll up your sleeves and learn something new today. I am Kristen Soul. I am the founder and executive director of Echo Autism Communities, and I am very excited to be able to talk to you today about many different topics that are important to our world and the work that we do. I have a couple of announcements that I want to help orient all of us to, so that as you're enjoying the sessions today, that you know where to find what you need, as well as how to engage in different ways with our community and with each other. So first of all, I want to welcome Renata sorry, I always mess up your beautiful name, Algalarando from Fall for Art. She is an incredible graphic artist. One of the things that is really meaningful to us here at Echo Autism Communities is that we are inclusive in as many ways as we can be. Now, of course, we're always learning, and we're always learning that there are even more ways to try to be inclusive in the work that we do. But we love that Renata's here to help us visually represent the work and the words that are coming to life during our sessions. One of the things that we know is sometimes people learn differently. Sometimes people like to listen only. Sometimes people want to read, or sometimes they want to watch things happen visually. And so certainly we love having Fall for Art. She's been with us for a number of years now, and just in a delightful and extraordinary way to watch our content come to life. And so we hope you enjoy that as well. Lots of important information will be coming to you in the chat. I know some of you may be used to using Zoom all the time. Others of you, it might be something new. So make sure you look for the chat because that's where you're going to find a lot of information. Now, one of the things that's important is if you're looking for continuing education credit, you are absolutely welcome to earn that type of credit. We've done our best to be also as inclusive in the types of professional credits that we're offering. And so certainly we want you to be able to earn those credits and apply those to your professional licenses as appropriate. So be on the lookout for information about how you claim those, what that looks like, some important details there as well. You can access the agenda. There will be a link in the chat. You're going to hear a repetitive comment here in just a minute that pretty much everything that you might need will hopefully be found in the chat, but you can certainly engage with us in the Q&A as well. When handouts are available from the presenters, they will also be made available, and so keep an eye out for those. Some of our presenters, though, do not have handouts available, and so it's okay, right? We can learn to be flexible. I am actually one of those presenters. I don't have handouts for my slides, and I actually have a reason for that. That reason is I want you to listen. I want you to think, and while I know some of you may be diligently taking notes, and that's fine, and I love that. I want you to still have the opportunity to just kind of think and not maybe look ahead. Maybe it's because I love surprises that I like to offer that to you in the form of today's presentation. And so certainly, again, when there are handouts available, we've made them available to you, and be flexible, right? One of the things that we want you to know is that this symposium is put on with a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and frankly, my internal team that also runs almost everything related to Echo Autism is the people behind, or are the people behind Echo Autism Symposium. So all of us are bringing this to you. And so it's a labor of love, a labor of passion, and we absolutely love today. I woke up this morning thinking, I think this might be one of my favorite days. And so certainly we hope that you all will share that sentiment as we go through the day. But know that we are not professional event planners or conference organizers. But boy, I tell you, Melinda Odom and our team and the leaders behind this work and our team are absolutely incredible. And we know that they have paid attention to every single detail that they can think of. So thank you for joining us, and thank you for thinking about how you can expand your lens as we talk about autism and we talk about the world that is inclusive of autistic people, their families, and their loved ones and friends. Also, a note that may be a little bit different for some of you, depending on how often you go to conferences. We will not be reading individual speaker bios. As much as I love and applaud all the accolades that most of our speakers, in fact, all of our speakers have, I believe that we should dedicate the vast majority of our time to the content. So I do want to recognize the fact that our speakers are esteemed, that they bring incredible expertise from many different walks of life to our symposium today. So we will be putting their speaker bios in the comments or the chat. So you can certainly read that, and you can also look at that on the website as well. But that's just a word for you to kind of orient you to what you can expect. Also, like I mentioned, if you have questions for our team or for one of the speakers, please put those in the Q&A. At the end of each presentation, I will be helping us facilitate those questions and answers for our speakers. And so certainly we look forward to answering as many of your questions as we can. Again, I want to be mindful of the fact that all of us are coming at this with a passion and a commitment to improving the lives and including the lives of autistic people across the lifespan. And so certainly all questions are welcome, but do keep them professional, keep them in the spirit of learning, and keep them in that spirit of community, because I think that's an important anchor for all of us. You know, there will be some topics that may generate some deeper thoughts for you, or some maybe even some things you haven't considered in the past. And that's great. That's exactly what we want. We want you to be questioning and thinking about, do I agree with that? Do I not agree with that? And again, that's welcome always, but we certainly want to remain professional and collegial in the way that we engage with each other, so that we can all learn. One of the things I see a lot, and I bet many of you do too, is that when we start to attack each other, or when we start to really think about, oh, I don't agree with that person, I'm gonna, since I don't know them, I'm just gonna, drop a bunch of things that are maybe not so nice. That squelches conversation, right? And that squelches growth. And so one of the important things that we believe in at Echo Autism Community is that we are curious. We remain curious at all times, and we want to learn, and we want to learn with you. Even if we don't necessarily agree, that doesn't mean we can't learn from each other. And so again, as we engage with each other today, throughout the day, I will likely bring that up again, but just as a reminder, this is an important thing for us as our Echo Autism community continues to grow. And as we continue to understand each other and think and include everyone's perspectives, we do our darndest to be thinking about that in all the things that we do. So thank you for helping us with that as well. Okay, so when we think about our first presentation, I am going to set us up for that here in just a minute, but we're not quite ready yet. But certainly want to describe to you what our intent is behind our symposium today. So when we think about our symposium and we think about the work that have gone into preparing for this and thinking about the different speakers and the different topics, I want to be clear. We are not here to try to address everything and anything that there is related to autism in one single day, right? When we think about our symposium, we actually think about it as kind of a rolling content. And so every year, I look back at the prior few years, and I also look ahead, and I consider the different concepts that are going on in our communities and in our world. I talk to lots of folks about what's on their minds. I monitor lots of different channels, and then work with many people, both people with lived experience as well as professionals, to better understand what are the things that are meaningful to them, what are things that they're curious about or don't understand as well. And then we start putting that together. We start to think about, well, how can we deliver that information in a meaningful way? Our mission at Echo Autism Communities is to move knowledge, not people. And specifically, we want to make autism best practices accessible to everyone. What we know is that all too often there are bottlenecks everywhere. Bottlenecks in order to get in for diagnosis, bottlenecks for interventions, bottlenecks for fun activities for autistic people to engage in. There are so many different places where we restrict access. And one of the things we are most passionate about at Echo Autism is trying to disseminate knowledge, share, or what I love to think about is democratize expertise so that it can be available to you wherever you are. Obviously, we're always working to increase our global footprint, meaning make things accessible in different languages, make things accessible in different formats, in different ways. That's a work in progress. But what I want you to know is that every one of our content presenters today was selected and cultivated to bring to you things that we think are really important for you to understand, whether you're, again, a parent, an autistic person, a professional. We know we have a lot of different kinds of professionals. You may be an educator, you may be in healthcare, you may be in who knows what business. Maybe you're coming to learn how you can include autistic people in the workforce. Whatever walk of life that you're coming to our time together today, please know that we have intentionally crafted today to be meaningful for you and meaningful in the long run. So again, we think about our content kind of longitudinally, and hope that you recognize that today is not meant to cover all things to all people, but it's meant to highlight and reinforce important concepts that are key to autistic thriving. The other thing that I will say is that we're keenly aware of many of the issues that are facing people, people in general, autistic people, and every one of us today. So when we think about these things that are affecting us, whether it be stress due to current events, whether that be issues related to, life circumstances or whatever's going on, we get it. We understand that. And we want to be here to help everyone think about how we can do it just a little bit more, or maybe something a little bit different that adds to our inclusive communities and helps us to think about ways that we can do things differently. I love to think outside the box. In fact, it's something I spend probably too much time doing, but I absolutely love to think outside the box. And so today, I hope you will, if you're not an outside the box thinker, that's fine. You can think inside the box. But if you want to even just play outside the box a little bit today, I hope you will open your mind to new ideas, new concepts, new things to understand about whether, again, it's yourself, your child, your loved one, your friends, your neighbors. All of us, frankly, think differently. I bet you if we took a poll today of all the people listening, we would learn that probably not a one of us thinks the same way. And even though we define some of the ways that people think as autistic or as having ADHD or some other type of disorder, so to speak, what I can tell you is that as a human, we all have valid and important things to offer our world. And so I hope that you will continue to think about that in the time that we have together. One of the things that I know as a pediatrician, you'll get to hear from me later. I don't normally speak during the Echo Autism Symposium as like an actual presenter, but I will be coming to you later today to talk about a pediatrician's perspective and kind of reflecting on some of the news items that have happened. But I can tell you as a pediatrician, the perspective I have with families is honestly the most precious gift that I can think of. When I think about what I get to do alongside families every day and autistic people every day, is honestly the honor of a lifetime. And when I think about everything from early diagnosis at the age of, under 2, for example, all the way up to celebrating a driver's license at the age of 30, which I get to do with many of my older patients. It is just a joy to be able to think about all the ways that as a pediatrician, I never imagined the enrichment that I would have from my families, from my autistic patients. And I hope that you will also kind of think about that. Think about different ways that you are able to engage with whomever in your life is on the autism spectrum. They have so much to teach us. We have so much to learn. And I hope that you are excited, ready to engage, ready to learn,